These are 90s Battlestar Galactica comics. We don't talk about these that much, and maybe after this show, we'll understand why. Let's just start with the first four, because I just read these in trade format, and I went out to get the single issues, but we do have a few in the series. But this is enough, because I just read this. Let's see if I remember any of it. These were put together by Maximum Press, which means they are Rob Liefeld creations. Now, we need to remind ourselves of who Rob Liefeld is, and there's his art right there. Yeah, right from the 90s, and his short-lived run on Captain America made him a bit of a pariah, no doubt. And I don't quite know how history is coming down on him. It's time to reassess and reevaluate after such a time. So I'm going to give some credit to his Battlestar Galactica run, because I don't think we would have the Ron Moore version of Galactica without this. This is 1995. At least that's the cover date, July 95. Now, these books were hit and miss when they would come out on a schedule, but here they are. The first miniseries, 4 issues. I think it was called, I want to say it was called War of Eden, not Way to Eden. I would really enjoy it if it were Way to Eden, but we know that is not. All right, so the story comes from Liefeld and Robert Napton. I haven't looked these folks up. I don't know who they are. Gomez would do a lot of these Battlestar books. So, it's an idea. Rob Liefeld, think what you will, was a Battlestar geek. And he had the means and the celebrity in the 90s after he started his own studio. Maximum later became Awesome after his fallout with Marvel over the Heroes Reborn Captain America. Nonetheless, he put together Battlestar Galactica that no one had seen for like 15 years. At this stage, too, we had a lot of reruns on the Sci-Fi Network at the time, and a few random VHS tapes out there. So this was pretty exciting. I was geeked out for this when they came out at the time. I even bought these as a trade. I read the first 4. They're not bad. There are plenty of good elements in it. I don't know if the series got any worse, because, I don't remember a lot. This was a while ago. But it picks off right after the end of the original Battlestar run. There's no Galactica 80 stuff in here. And so we begin with just I don't know how much I'm going to read of this. I think I lost most of my first 30-second people, so I don't know. We'll see how I edit this. So something's wrong with Adama, and they gotta put Adama into cryo freeze. All this is spoilers too. This book's been out for a while. You can get it pretty easily. So the art isn't bad. I did notice a lot of cheesecake in it, which is good, because Liefeld often, and a lot of those image artists at the time, they come with the cheesecake. And I'm happy to report, at least, I'm sure it's there, right? But it was not so distracting that it stood out. The art itself isn't too bad. They're quick reads, but I don't think they're superficial reads, because there's something going on here. This is just setting up where the series left off. We got the ships of light. We don't know where Baltar's at. Apollo's in command. Oh, at this point, we don't know what happened to Adama. Later, it's revealed that they put him into like a cryo freeze for a while, because he has something close to Bendai's syndrome, or the same syndrome Picard had at the end of All Good Things. This is around the same time. So, we are stealing some stuff, but it's sci-fi. Everything's stolen from somebody else. Got some big battle scenes, art-wise. I mean, it's pretty much set in its time. It's not too overwhelming. I'm okay with it, I don't know what's going on here, but boom, boom, boom. It's very flashy. I don't know if this red alert stuff works, as a comic. Neither did nor did I anticipate doing a critique of the book itself in the art. I just wanted to geek out a bit, but there we go. So this is what the Galactica looks like now. Now, what stands out here, just looking at this Galactica, how similar it is to the 2003 Ron Moore version of Galactica than the 1979 version of Galactica. So that we're seeing some stuff that in retrospect is like, wow, I gotta give it up for Rob Liefeld and company, right? I think he just generated the idea and then had the resources for somebody else to go do it, right? So I don't know how much involvement he had with the books, but it doesn't matter. These were his books. He's going to be identified with them. Okay. This does not look like the 1979 Galactica, right? It looks more like the 2003. So anyway, do we get to Earth? We kind of get to Earth. Now this looks more like the 79 Galactica right there. Never mind then. This is supposed to be Starbuck. I mean, it's nothing says 1995 like this version of Starbuck with the hair. But we're going to let that go. I think he's a captain by this point. Everybody else has outranked him. Boxy's around. We make it to an Earth. It's a well, there are dinosaurs on the planet, so we really don't know if it's post where we're at now or if it's pre. If it's pre, again, we touch base with the end of the Ron Moore series, especially with the focus on Africa, just like in the Ron Moore series. So there's so many little touchstones throughout that I was pretty impressed. And I haven't written about this for myself because I'm behind on my own personal annotations, but this may help too. So we got the dinosaur, and now right here too, we find this arc right on the continent, and again beats with what they did with those Mandelas in the algae planet or wherever they were at the last couple seasons of Galactica with Tyrell finding some stuff. So, it's here. It's all here. And of course, we don't have dinosaurs in the Ron Moore version. So, we some license here with the comics. So, first introduction to Baltar again in the base star. He's all cyborged up. There's Lucifer. And behind him, of course, our old friend, Count Ibley. All right, well, that's issue 1. I had intended to do all 4, but I know I'm way over time. Even though I had the trade version of this, I did pick up the old singles. Even though I own these once and I must have unloaded them as that happens. Anyway, nice little letter from Liefeld geeking out on what he thinks of it. So I am keeping these single issues because there's going to be a letter column. I was just looking at this a minute ago. I'll do this real quick. Oh, they got a nice, this is issue 2. It's got terminology. It's got recaps of old episodes because, again, not a lot of access to this stuff in 1995. My favorite stuff is the mail. So you can, of course, write to, but don't forget their CompuServe or AOL. And that's what it was in the day. I think by 1995, I did that's the first year I accessed the internet at my local college, and we all had to go to the NASA page. So that's how that happens. All right, that is my quick rundown of the Battlestar. So I will talk to you later because the landline is ringing upstairs, and I don't think anyone knows that it's ringing.